And we're live in the Nova podcast. Hey, Nino, we're back.
Yes, we are.
The Nova Fitness Podcast, where we do fitness, business, and leadership. Today, our guest is definitely not Janelle. What are you doing here? Our guest today is Morgane Pulos, soon to be Morgan Sortino. Yeah, I was like, the exact pronunciation.
And it's Pulos.
Pulos.
It's close.
Can we restart?
For real, so Janelle ruined it.
Oh, yeah, Janelle ruined it.
I
All
think
right.
that's funny, but yeah, we could restart.
No, it's fine.
Anyway, so congratulations, Morgan, on being the member of the month. How does it feel? Is this the first time you've ever been member of the month?
Yeah.
Ever? In the whole time you've been in the
2 years.
You know, that's
Wow.
funny because I think, like we always, like as a staff and stuff, we always talk about like who member of the month is. And I swear, especially lately, like your name had been brought up like multiple times in a row, and it's always like, we just got to pick one. And over the years too, like I'm surprised you haven't been picked before.
No.
But even more recently, it was like a toss-up. Like you almost were like last month. And then it just
almost made it. So close.
Almost made it.
So
So it's not like we haven't obviously noticed for years all the good hard work and stuff you've done at the gym, and you've done a lot of things. I don't know how you just somehow slipped through the cracks, I guess. So finally we got you
You
here.
must have needed to like work really hard through
Break
an
my
injury
hand, yeah.
and get engaged
Yeah.
and do all those
Things.
things in order to be here.
Yeah. So I know that is a big thing. Well, before we go any further, we'll talk about a bunch of stuff. But tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell the fans at home, all the Morgan fans, a little more about you, where you're from, how'd you get into CrossFit, how whatever else is on your mind.
All right. So I grew up in Watkins Glen, super small town. Came up here after high school. My high school boyfriend went to Geneseo, so that's why I kind of chose Rochester. Worked, some waitressing jobs. These flies are nuts in here. I'm sorry, I'm so distracted.
Just wait till they start landing on your face.
Maybe Matt will catch one for us on the podcast here.
I did catch one time.
Did you?
In the middle of the pod.
Like Mr. Miyagi?
Exactly like that. I'm not even kidding. Out of the air.
I wish we were rolling a video because it was amazingly
It was probably the
hilarious.
single manliest thing I've done in
That's
2021.
awesome. I missed that one. So I used to work at Planet Fitness, and you see this regulars in there every day, whatever, and shoot the shit with people, and this guy told me that LaChase was his wife worked for LaChase, and they were hiring front desk there. So I gave him my resume, got the interview, got hired. So I started at the front desk, and then I've kind of worked my way up. I've been there 9 years, so.
Wow.
Now
So what do you do at LaChase? Like,
I'm a project administrator now, so just a lot of paperwork, contracts, purchase orders, change orders, receivables, payables, certified payrolls, HCR reporting, Section 3 reporting.
okay,
So,
a lot of the administrative work in a construction company. Okay.
yeah, so I actually work for Conifer LaChase, so it's a joint venture between Conifer Realty, which is a developer, and then LaChase, we're the GCs. So I do all the Maryland and New Jersey, Philadelphia projects.
Have you thought about getting out there with the boys swinging the hammer?
I would love to get out from behind the desk.
It's not a bad. I mean, I love that kind of work, so I don't know, but I could just picture you out there, nails looking all green and fresh, just pounding away.
Yeah.
Somebody's like, "Hey, will you pour this concrete?" Actually, I just had these nails.
Actually.
No. So you just got engaged.
Yeah, on Friday.
And like I asked you before, how sore is your arm from carrying that ring around?
It's weighing me down, but
Yeah, it slowed
I'm
you
not
down in the
gonna
run today a little bit, I think.
Hashtag worth it.
Yeah.
Well, congrats.
So,
how long
thank
have you and Nick been together?
6.5 years.
6.5
Wow.
years.
A long time.
Yeah, I think, it's kind of like the reason you've been belated so long to be member of the month. We had to make sure you...
Yeah.
Nick gave the nod of approval. We're like, all right, we'll bring her. We'll make her do it. No, just kidding. That's cool.
funny.
That's great. I can't imagine you've done any wedding planning yet, right?
God, no. That's like the first
I
thing
know,
everybody
I
always
don't know
you got
why-
a date. Yeah, I'm like, Jesus Christ, it's been 3 days.
I don't even know
Yeah.
why I pretend to ask. I know the answer. There's no way. I mean, I got married 2 years ago, and people do the same thing to us.
It's so interesting, though. Another friend of mine, or like she works with my sister, but she just got engaged, I think maybe the same day, and maybe a couple days before, and I swear to God, I was assisting a photo shoot, and I was leaving the Strathallan. She's like, yeah, we just looked at that for a venue. I'm like, you've literally been engaged for 10 seconds.
Oh
You're already looking at venues? Like, good for you. That's amazing, but damn.
Cool.
Some people are like,
There's a lot of pressure, though.
like on it, and I'm just, you know, we're very chill. Like, it's been 6.5 years. I'm gonna spend the rest of my life with him. We can like enjoy our engagement for a little bit.
Yeah, soak it all in.
Yeah,
totally.
Yeah, I remember we found the venue
Where'd
right
you guys
away.
get married? Isn't it like a barn?
Yeah, it was like a
See
barn
pictures?
in Syracuse.
Okay.
But we got the venue like right away, like 2 weeks later, and then didn't do a single thing for like 6 months.
Okay.
Then it was all of a sudden like throwing it all together.
But she had a date. Right?
Yeah, it was like, you know. I don't recommend wait that whole window of waiting and doing nothing, by the way, if you plan. But anyway.
I'm eloped. I don't even.
Yeah.
I don't even care.
You're fucking shy.
Right?
I don't think Emily's going to listen. She might listen to this. I don't want to say too much. But it's a lot more financially advantageous to elope, I hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But anyway, how did you get into CrossFit?
So, I don't know if you know, do you know Chris Caswell? He owns CrossFit Ambition.
I know of him. I don't know him personally.
He used to work at Chase.
Okay.
So he left Chase to
Start Ambition?
to grow it.
Okay.
He already had it, so I did my first couple classes there, and then I met this guy who used to work for because I like had an ex-boyfriend there, so I stopped going there. You know, that's why that stopped. And then I was kind of looking for a new gym, and one of our contractors at Chase told me that he went to Fruition, and I was like, oh, let me check it out, you know, closer to my house. And then I started there and really never looked back. Took a year or two off in like 2017. 2018 just kind of went back to like, you know, bodybuilding type stuff, got really bored again, and then went back to CrossFit.
Yeah, you know, I loved doing the bodybuilding stuff for a while. Like, when I was into it, I was into it. It was fun. I got like an adrenaline rush from the workouts and stuff. But then once I got like deep enough into CrossFit, it never seems like enough. My attention span is just not interested in that kind of stuff. And those workouts are hard. Bodybuilding is not easy. Building that kind of muscle or just doing those workouts will leave you wrecked.
Yeah,
but it's just not fun to me anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one thing I did not expect. Well, the sweet sound of a baby crying is a new addition to our podcast.
Nora Rose.
Yeah, so, you know, actually I remember when you came to Nova for the first time, like, I remembered you from Fruition because of your tattoo, but I remember, I know that girl. And I was like, I don't know, I think maybe from CrossFit somewhere. I can try to put it together, and then I was like, oh, yeah. And I guess you guys, Charlie remembered me. I didn't remember anything from that.
From the dungeon.
That dungeon gym. Hey, that was the stuff. Part of me knows a dungeon gym to be terrible, but it was also where I like started my career, and I'm like got like that old sentimental like. Yeah. That's where it began, so I can't say too many bad things.
I can say a couple bad things.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. Well, you know,
Focus on the
positive. So, what do you look to get out of CrossFit most of the time? I've known you to be like, you've got this intense personality when you're training in the gym. You go hard, but you don't do like really any competing, like on a serious level. I mean, you don't seem like overly obsessed with the results, but you train really hard. So is it just a hobby for fun, or
I just love it.
You just love doing it?
I just love it. Like, I sit at a computer screen all day, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait to go to the gym. Mm-hmm. You know, just all day. Like, I love working out. I love pushing myself, like being able to do new things, you know, just. Yeah.
Yeah. You remember when I was telling you that we did a series of like kind of progressions towards building to a muscle up. I was like, we're going to do these progressions till Morgan gets a muscle up. Not just you, but honestly, it was part of it. Like sometimes you see certain people in the gym, you're like, okay, like they're trying to get this. I know they want to. So I got to like make sure I do the programming right so they'll get an opportunity to do those things. And then sometimes I've done that with like say clean and jerk with another person really wants to get a PR of like they're just shy of a milestone lift. And then they'll miss the certain days, or they'll like go. And I'm always like, no, I need you to do that day.
This was for you.
But you rarely miss, if any. You probably actually train more than I recommend you do sometimes. But I remember you said on the questionnaire I gave you that getting your first muscle up was like one of your most memorable moments. What was that like?
It was awesome. I was, you know, we did them I did jumping bar muscle ups in the workout,
Mhm.
and then after I'm like, I feel pretty good. Let me like see how it goes. And I think it was like my first one I did it, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I did it.
Yeah.
It was a cool feeling, especially because I've been doing CrossFit for so long, and that's something that one of the glorified movements. And
Mhm.
but when I was before at the other gyms, you weren't really being like coached. You kind of just go in at your own time. It wasn't classes like this. Like you just warm up on your own. If there were people there to WOD with you, awesome. Like I didn't do the drilling, the technique, so I would have never been able to do it.
And there's been sometimes when I've been coaching you and doing some of those drills, you did not like.
Yeah.
Like you found them to be annoying or stupid, right? And if there's something that people could learn from you, if I used you as an example, is like some of those annoying drills that are like seem stupid in the beginning. I just want to be like, trust me, I know more about this than you. Like this will help you get there. Just start here and
I think more because they're hard.
And then there's that. They seem stupid and they're still hard.
They're hard.
Like those ring transitions, right?
They're freaking
learning
hard.
to pull yourself down low enough and pause in that like hollowed tight position. Yeah, unenjoyable. I don't like them either. I mean, I can do a bunch of muscle ups in a row, and I hate those drills just the same. But I mean, even for somebody like say you're Ronnie or Kevin, if you just go back to those fundamentals and like master those, I mean, it makes you take I can do 7 unbroken muscle ups to I can do 10 unbroken muscle ups to I can do who knows how many.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what just the elite people do. Like in any sport, football players they block and tackle better than everyone else, and they eventually go to the NFL. I mean, obviously there's some talent. The same thing with like fitness, doing the little things, just having your hand grip in the right place. But anyway, going down a rabbit hole there. I had something else I was going to say about that. I'll stop up. Anyway, what's next?
I don't know.
You're bouncing back from an injury. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I was really proud of you. I know that it was very mentally challenging, probably being hurt and not feeling like you could do.
Yeah.
Am I right? Tell me how what your experience of it was like. You
it was rough.
had dropped a
I was
kettlebell
gonna say, let's
or a
talk
dumbbell
about what
on your
happened.
hand. This wasn't like CrossFit got you hurt.
And it wasn't like a 20-pound dumbbell. It was a 65-pound dumbbell. Turkish get up was above my head, just came crashing down. So it completely like hyperextended. So still, this part of my hand, like handstand push-ups, are still like a no-go. I'm getting better, but like the other night when we were doing that workout with all those heavy jerks and stuff, I still have to like tape it where my brace or whatever, but
it will heal.
It's been a long time.
And it feels like forever too when you're just like nursing.
So you dropped the dumbbell from one hand onto the other hand, right?
Yeah, so I got it up and I went to go like, press up with it, and it just came down. So my elbow was on the ground already, so it's not even like I could have absorbed the dumbbell. It literally just...
That's such a freak accident.
Oh,
yeah.
Better your hand than your head, though. Jesus.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot that can be learned, or a lot you could share about that. Like the mental side of like I've hurt myself, and I know that it's can upset me pretty bad. Like because it felt like I am better than this, and like it's so frustrating to see your friends doing good. At least it was for me. Like I'd see Ronnie or other people being able to train hard, get PRs, or do good in the open. I had got hurt right before the open one year, so I barely could get through it. And
I think the worst part was like seeing workouts that like, oh man, I really want to do that. I actually like screenshot, like save workouts that I like am going to do, that I really wanted to do, but I couldn't because
you have to let me know which ones those are. Maybe we'll retest them.
Yeah.
We're due for some retesting coming up.
Oh boy.
But yeah. What kept you motivated? What kept you motivated to kind of keep going through it like that?
Just my personality.
Just the internal drive that
like,
can't quit.
Yeah.
Well, because some people, you'll hear stories, they're, I don't know, going on a hike, they roll an ankle really bad, and that does suck. But then they're like, oh, I can't train anymore. My doctor said I need to take 4 weeks off, and they'll like cancel the membership for a month, or just like stop working out if they can't, and then they never quite, either they don't come back, or they never really kind of.
No matter what you can do, you can still get a workout in. I'm like,
totally. I dislocated my elbow, and I was literally like in a range of motion brace doing yoga and still lifting weights and stuff. I was like, nope, this is not So I feel you're crazy.
Yeah.
What are some of the things we did to kind of adapt you or kind of work through some of those workouts?
I did a lot of single arm dumbbell stuff. Some days if we were doing like thrusters or whatever, I would just use a med ball, do like med ball thrusters because I could keep my my hand pretty neutral, or even do one more under. Ring rows. I use those things for the toes to bar. I saw that.
Yeah. I don't even know what we call those things. They're like
I just always put like toes to bar from hangy things.
yeah, like a lot of people use those in like traditional gyms to do ab stuff or when detox. But when I saw you doing kipping toes to bar on those, I'm like, I don't know if this is safe or okay, but I don't want to stop her.
And they look pretty damn good.
They look pretty close to the real thing. I'm like, okay. Like, this is going to train something.
Yeah. And then towards the end there, when you had found that one, I think it was like Kelly Starrett or whatever was doing like the one arm clean.
Oh, yeah.
And I started, messing around with that. So
that was fun and sort of scary to watch you do every time, where she would do the power clean but then let the arm go intentionally, so she'd catch it on the shoulder, but only racked with one hand. So it looked like her arms were just flying out of the shoulder.
Oh my God.
Do what you gotta do.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. Like I said, working out with a brace after freaking dislocating my elbow. I get you. I
mean, it was good that you had the right mindset to do that. I don't think a lot of people, there's people who have different types of limitations. Maybe not caused by an injury. Maybe it's, I don't know, physical impairment or some other type of more serious injury that's permanent. And so they'll just kind of chalk it up to, well, I can't do this, so I don't want to do it. And they miss out on a lot of what you can do. Yeah. How, everything's adaptable. And I always think that's kind of sad or unfortunate, Yeah. I know from talking to other people, like, whether their injury was their back or, like, coming back from pregnancy or something like that, it's like those are all, the mental side of what happens when someone gets hurt and how to power through that. It's like its own type of training.
I definitely had a couple of breakdowns, like weekly, just cry and then, okay, get back to it.
What did you learn from kind of training past or through the injury? Anything particular about yourself that you...
Not really. I don't know. Like you said, just being adaptable. Like, if I can't do the workout, okay, I'll do something else, There's always something you can do, like, I don't know.
Yeah. Learning to be patient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a strong suit, a work in progress.
No, I would go home every night and Nick would be like, how's your day? Okay. Why just okay? Because I can't do what I want to do at the gym. He's like, well, babe, you haven't even, taken a day off. Like, why don't you? I'm like, shut up.
That's bold. That's bold talk, Nick. Yeah. Very bold. I would have been afraid to say that to you. Well, I've kind of said that, but when's Nick coming to CrossFit?
Nick used to do CrossFit.
I remember you said that.
And he would honestly probably come and still kick all of our asses. Like, he is just a naturally, gifted, very athletic human being. But he's got a lot of, shoulder, knee, wrist. He's, all fucked up.
Well, a body in motion stays in motion.
Oh, he still works out.
He still works out.
And, he golfs all the time. So.
Yeah. Well, he also does a lot of construction, too. So
he does.
He's the only person I've seen on Whoop that I actually know who has comparable calorie burn and and strain. Normally my strains are very, very high, 20.
Yeah,
I don't know if you saw
max.
last week, I had a couple in a row that were
Yeah.
I text my friend Nate, I'm like, am I going to die? I had 20.5 2 days in a row, 5,000 something calories burned. I'm like, is this okay? Should I see someone? But it was just because I was working a lot and we were doing a bunch of stuff. But anyway.
Yeah, it's crazy. The other day, I took a rest day Sunday or something like that. So we're, I looked at my Whoop and we're laying in bed. I'm like, oh my God. I was like, my strain only got to 4.2 today. He's like, that can't be right. He goes, mine
I wake up at 4.2
from walking up and down the stairs in the morning.
No, it's because that's why men don't live as long as women. We're under constant strain.
Seriously. This proves it.
Yeah.
It's wild.
It's probably fun.
Yeah, no, I don't have the Whoop.
It's pretty cool.
I just don't want one more thing on my wrist.
I hear you.
It bugs me that it's not a watch.
Yeah.
And it takes up space in your wrist.
I pretended to watch. Sometimes in public, I look at it.
I mean, sure.
Just
do what
just
you
to
gotta do.
just to avoid eye contact with people that I don't like to look at. No, I don't really do that. I'm just kidding.
I can see you doing that though.
It is not a bad plan. So if you were a member or someone potentially a member or a new member, and you were to offer that, or let me rephrase this whole thing. If someone was a new member coming into the gym or a prospective member, what advice would you give them about joining the gym or trying CrossFit?
Just to get them in? Or?
Just in general, like, hey, I'm thinking about
Sell
doing
it.
CrossFit, but I don't know. What do you think, Morgan?
You should totally try it.
You're a woman of few words.
I don't know. Like, I mean, people are always like, oh, it's so hard, but it's all about, like, relative intensity. Like, you know, just because I can do more than you doesn't mean that I'm working harder than you are. Like, you have to start somewhere, you know, you can start anywhere, you know. There's old people that do it. Like, you can look up plenty of, you know, inspirational, like...
I feel like Morgan just wants to be like, don't be a pussy. Do it. What's your
Literally.
problem?
I mean,
Putting it,
Yeah, you're hardcore. You used to coach CrossFit at one point, right?
I did. I
How
coached for a long
was
time.
that experience?
It was good, you know. I went to a couple, like, I never actually got L1 certified, but for coaching at Vigor and World Gym, I had to have, like, a personal trainer certification, so I just did something online. But I taught myself most of what I knew, you know, from reading and watching videos and trial and error. But it was fun. I definitely don't miss it.
I'd say if you go to the, like, an L1, it's they lay the groundwork for, like, you kind of having eyes open to, like, the vision of what it's supposed to be, but you still would have to, like, spend all this time learning afterwards, and nothing is as valuable as trial and error experience.
Yeah.
How many times have we been like, well, Morgan, I don't know if it's going to work, but you should try this. I thought it would go better than that. or look at, oh yeah, I should be a coach. You know, those moments, and a lot of times it just depends on the people you're coaching. If they have the, you know, they want to, I guess, be flexible enough, or they're willing to, hey, I'll try this weird drill that he thinks might work. And it's also sometimes when I give a member like a drill to do, and then it's not working, I go, sorry, I didn't have a better idea. Like, I tried.
Yeah, that one with the PVC and the band, where I just kept, like, rolling over. I don't know.
It works better in my head. I don't know why it didn't work out.
I'm like, no.
I'm sad I missed that one.
That was just one I was trying to give Morgan, like, something to do because her wrist was messed up. But, like, imagine if there was a whole class, everyone couldn't do it. I'd be like, it's my fault. My bad. Oh, man. So, what are some more of your most memorable moments here at Nova Fitness?
You know, our Christmas party was a lot of fun.
It was lit, right?
Were you here yet?
No.
Did you go to Blades? That was a lot of fun.
That was a good time. The after party to that was silly.
At the place by...
yeah, Hilda and Patricia got us to go to some terrible dive bar.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I didn't even know that was a bar. Like, I've been there for breakfast before.
Doctor's Inn?
Isn't it?
Oh, no, there's a...
there's a diner next to...
There's a diner next to it.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought it was, like,
that's
in there.
where you guys went, the Doctor's Inn.
Yeah. We went from this really nice Christmas party
that's
to, like...
the dive of all dives in Rochester, too.
I hope this year we will have a good Christmas party again. You know, obviously 2020 didn't happen because, you know, the world melting down. Everyone's going to cry about it, like, you know? So...
Slow case of COVID.
No one wants the cooties. What'd you say? A slow case of the COVID?
A little case of the COVID.
A little case of the kids. Yeah, a little roan.
Yeah, that was fun. I was at kind of like a plateau at my old gym, and I've noticed since I started here and actually like getting coached again. Like I haven't been coached in years. I've kind of like breaking through a lot of those barriers. Like I hit a lot of PRs before I got injured.
Yeah, you were on a good roll. So, like, when you think about your training, is like your goal to just be as freaking crazy good as possible, or is it just whatever the day brings you?
Yeah, I mean, you know, some days you're not, you know, some days are rough.
Yeah, I mean, some days you're the hammer, some days you're the nail. I mean, so I have workouts like that, but in theory, I'm trying to just always be better. But
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm not interested in competing or anything. You know, those guys are always like, let's, you know, Catalyst game the let's do it. I'm like, nah. Like,
yeah. I used to love that the competitions and stuff. And now,
it's just like such a long day.
Exactly.
Like it's fun, but it's like
if you don't have like, well, I don't know. Some people are driven by different things. For me, it's like I don't have ambitions to go to any level of competition that's going to get me paid.
right, obviously.
And so I'm over the recreational competitive competition thing. Now it's like, hey, I want to look good naked. Exactly. Yeah. That's ultimately what it comes down to. Yeah. Cool.
Awesome.
What else?
I don't know. What else you got for me?
I don't know. I always like hearing people's funny stories about like things that have gone on in the time they've been here.
Wasn't really, I don't know. Think of some funny stories. I don't know.
We just break down the wall that is Morgan. There's more underneath there.
It's probably not podcast appropriate.
Oh, depends on the podcast, I suppose.
That's true.
No. How about that time when you gave Janelle the complete, like, sarcastic instructions of how to do wall balls, and she thought you were being for real?
See, we joke about that a lot of times with the Saturday morning classes, because for a while we had this like joking trend that we were anti-coaching. It was anti-coaching. So we'd be like doing our warm-up drills.
He's
and
like, keep your hands up the whole time.
try to throw the ball from as low as possible. If you can throw the ball before you stand up, you're doing it.
Wow, those are really hard.
But everyone else in class knew that it was a joke. We stopped doing that. We stopped doing anti-coaching as a joke because it was like a joke that like Nick and Patrick and I started like on Saturday morning. So it'd be like because we're like competing with each other.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, hey Nick, why don't you just try to do all your bar muscle ups that's unbroken right from the beginning, or like run as fast as possible in that first round so you get a lead.
Yeah.
And like just giving each other, and it just like, accelerate to everyone just giving each other like bend over completely over. Try to take your legs out of the equation. Pull with your low back as hard as possible. That kind of anti-coaching. And then the first time somebody sort of listened to what we were saying, we realized, all right, we can't do that anymore. But it'd be like Emily teaching the class properly, and the rest of us just screwing around. But anyway.
Yeah, that was funny.
Oh,
That was like,
my God.
Poor Janelle.
Love
That's what you get, Janelle, for not slapping my hand earlier.
Oh my God.
I put my hand out, and give everyone high fives, they're running by, and she reaches her hand out at the last second, goes, pulls her hand back and puts it behind her ear, and I was like,
It's so her.
I was broken.
So
Felt,
her.
my gosh.
felt a heartstring snap. Oh, gosh.
Funny.
Man, it's too much. I gotta come in the evening more. Look
You
out with
should.
you. The shenanigans.
The crews are different, but they're equally as fun.
Yeah.
I feel like 5:30's been growing a lot.
Yeah, 5:30's been popping. I think people getting out of work and
Yeah.
the timing of it, yeah.
Growing a lot.
I've noticed, over the years, like different class times, they ebb and they flow. Like sometimes it'll be like 4:30. Remember, it was a 4:30 class. That'd be the pop-in class for a while, and then I don't know. There'll be certain times of the year where 9 a.m. is like 9, 10 people deep every day, and then it'll go through like a stretch of like 1 or 2 people for a while, then it comes back.
Yeah.
I wish I could work out in the morning, but I'm not getting up at 5 a.m.
Well, I don't work out that early either.
That
Yeah,
would
but that's what you have to do to get to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't blame you. The only catch to the afternoon is it is fucking hotter this end of the day.
That's,
Like today, I was like, I had to get it in the morning because I did not want to come back tonight and
It
do
was hot.
that particular workout. But
It is what it got a good sweat.
yeah, you
yes, you did.
your quote unquote detox.
I'm
going
done
into an
sweating
infrared
now.
Cool. Well, if you don't have anything on your mind, any questions for me as a member, you can ask. And there's literally nothing you could ask that I'm like afraid to answer. I'll tell you. Yeah, I'd just ask out of curiosity to see what you're curious about. I know sometimes people will have like a question on their mind. Why do we do this way? Or when is this going to happen? Or whatever.
When I have a question, I
Usually just
usually
say
ask
it, right? Yeah,
then.
that's
So-
true. You are pretty direct. That's not bad. That's fair.
That's good.
So, yeah.
Well, congrats on finally becoming member of the month.
Thank you.
Well deserved for a long time. Sorry your wrist was such a challenging thing, but I'm proud of you for getting through it. I think you did set a good example of, being adaptable, and like not losing sight of, hey, I'm here to be healthy, fit, to get the most out of whatever I can. Like I have a little physical limitation, but like that's not going to stop me. And I've actually noticed that one or two there's somebody else who has just, I guess, tweaked a ankle or something, whatever it was. Same thing. And he was somebody else who was doing really well, losing a lot of weight, getting healthier than he's probably ever been. And he came in one day, he's like, I have something that's hurt and I don't want to stop working out. And I said, no problem, friend. But not everyone's like that. And I've seen it over the years in different gyms or different clients or different, whether it be personal training even. And people think that if they can't do it perfectly, they can't do it at all, especially in CrossFit because, the workouts prescribed, yada, yada. So
Yeah.
I think you set a great example of that. And then obviously you just set a great example by working hard.
Thank you.
I know you hate running, but I rarely see you skip a run workout anymore.
I know that's one thing that I've gotten much better at is I don't cherry pick anymore. I really try. How are you going to get better at something that you're not good at if you don't do it?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I'm trying to be the best I can be. I'm not going to get better at running by skipping those awful 2-mile long.
Those fuckers are tough. I know. I'm with you. I'm not a great runner, and I don't enjoy it. I've talked about this on another podcast, I think. But it's like, what kind of example would I set if I cherry pick? And I think whether I don't know, you're pretty intense, pretty fit person. You probably are a little bit of a leader in some ways. People will look at, well, if Morgan, because it's sometimes like you're so good at certain things that it makes other people go like, well, she's a beast, I can't be like her. And then there's workouts where you get your butt handed to you and it's like, whoa, she is human, but she just tries hard. I was like, I can at least try hard. At least that's how I think. And I think
I can agree with that.
A lot of people look up to that.
I've only been a member, it hasn't even been a year yet, so I just met you pretty recently. And coming in and seeing you like lift and stuff, you're like, oh damn. That girl's really strong. But like in an inspirational kind of way, like, all right, like you see what kind of potential possibly you could have, but then, it's nice. It's nice when you're like, oh, okay, I can run just as good as she can.
There are some days with barbell workouts, like between you and Bethany, I'm always like, all right.
I know.
Like, I gotta like hold my own here. like we're not using the exact same way. Our scores won't be next to each other on the board, but like on the sugar wad. But I'm secretly competing. Like especially if it's like a pure barbell workout, like or something like that, where like or what did we do the other day? Macho Man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I was like, all right. I admit that workout blew up. That's a bad example. I did not do good in that workout. Normally I would say I would have said I'm gonna beat Bethany, which is not an easy task in a workout like that, or Morgan. But
is she injured too?
No, she's just.
Oh, I saw in that one she did like deadlifts or something, and that that's like right up her.
She had been crushing it with a lot of the Ollie class and a lot of heavy squats. Yeah. And I just think her legs were like really sore. Like her knee was like a little annoyed. Gotcha. But it was just purely from too much use. That
workout should be named Bethany. Because she would kill that.
Yeah, I think she just backed off a little bit because she was like feeling like, my knee's a little twingy. It's because she'd been she's clean and jerking as much as most of the men here. So I was like, I would probably.
It's good to know your body like that too. Where a workout where she probably did want to do it, but she's like,
that's a smart move, really. Yeah, because even I don't know, I probably would have just forced myself. But that is not what you should do. That's a bad example. I don't know what I would do in the moment if I was like, man, this is a workout I want to crush. But I don't know. I had to Friday that one with the deadlifts and the handstand push-ups. I was just so sore, like I was tired. I did that workout Sunday night, like yesterday. But I wanted to do it Friday, but I was like, if I do this, it's going to look like crap. It's going to feel like crap. And there's really not going to be any, I need rest. So I had to make that tough goal. So maybe I wouldn't do the wrong thing. Mm-hmm. Anyway, we are
off on a tangent.
We are well, that's why I like to do some of these podcasts. I just get to hang out with people.
Yeah, totally.
Any big goals, any big movements or things you want, or are you just trying to get back to where you're at?
I'm just trying to get back to normal. Being able
you'd be I got a great goal for you. We could work with you. You should aim to, by the Open, you should RX all 5 workouts. or make it to the whatever semifinals next time around.
In the open?
Yeah.
I think I usually do RX all of them.
All of them with the muscle ups and the different chest to bars and things.
Okay,
So there'll be some things like, you know, if you've ever had any of the open workouts in the past that you weren't able to complete like to their entirety, we should aim to get past this.
Yeah. There was one.
Once your wrist is 100% healed, I think you could really do some progressions to get there.
Yeah.
They say they might test running in the open sometime soon. I don't know how they're going to do that, but also the open happens in like February, so maybe not.
Is it February or is it October?
Oh, is they going to do it in October? I don't know now. I don't know.
I don't know either. I feel like they change it all the time.
Yeah, well, because of the whole,
Didn't it happen in March? Was that just because of COVID?
Could be.
But then we just had one like right.
Yeah, it was like,
we had like 2
March.
back-to-back.
Don't ask me. I don't follow CrossFit competing enough to.
I don't remember either.
I'm like, I really don't.
All
right. Well, again, for the final time, congratulations.
Yes.
Continue doing things. We'll see you out there. Morgane's Fitness.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
And that is In the Nova.